So I'm absolutely 100% not a beach person. A lot of my friends take beach vacations and it just seems so boring to me. I mean, I would ask them like, what do you do? What do you do all day? And they would talk about waking up, putting on their suit, going to the beach or going to the pool, and basically just sitting there all day long, reading a book, drinking. That just seems so boring to me. I always say, like, what else? What else? You did that for like 4 or 5 days? Like, that's it? So I just did not get it. So how did I wind up on this beach vacation? Uh, well, to be honest with you, I was just tired. You know, my vacations or when I travel, I'm always on the go. I wake up and basically I'm out. I'm out all day long until it's way past dark. And my last vacation, I started to think, wow, it would be nice just to not do that much. Just kind of chill out all day and do nothing. So I started to think about those stories my friends would tell me, and they started to sound like appealing to me. So I decided to give it a try. And I am glad that I did.
We're going through a bit of a little tropical depression, hence the reason for the rainfall. Spot's right in the middle of, right at the beginning of St. Lawrence Gap.
Uh-huh.
Quite a number of little bars and little nice restaurants around that you could have a meal at and have a drink and socialize and that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool.
There was only one thing that I required for this beach vacation, and that is a balcony overlooking the ocean. Because I knew I wasn't going to be laying out on the beach all day, and I knew I wasn't going to be sitting by that pool all day. But I envisioned myself relaxing on a balcony in meditation with the ocean. And that's what I got. Once I got settled, I went straight to the supermarket. I knew prices were going to be higher, but I didn't expect that they would be double or even sometimes 3 times more than what I would pay in the States with a conversion. But I had to get some stuff because even though I knew I wasn't going to be able to maintain my normal diet, I wanted to pick up some vegan options. So since we're talking about food prices, I went to the farmers market uh, at the Art Splash Centers down the street, and I saw this watermelon stand. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a watermelon. And I went over and talked to the guy, and he said that the watermelon is $20, 20 Bajan dollars, right? I'm like, you know what? I am not paying. I don't know who you're trying to get over, but I am not paying $20, which in my mind is $10 for this little behind watermelon. And so I was like, thank you. I'm about to leave. And he said, okay, I'm going to sell it to you for $5, which is $10, their money. And I was like, okay, that's whole check prices. I'll go ahead and do it. And he said it's going to be really, really good. And he was right. It was really sweet. But really, $10 for a watermelon? I'm not the one.
Oh, strong rum punch. Great memories on that vessel. When I was a kid, she was king of the coast, but these days, the catamarans pretty much rule the cruise industry.
decided to check out this place called Happy Days for breakfast because it got great reviews. I got blueberry pancakes, and they were okay. They weren't great, but they did just fine. And I had a little visitor. Look at the little birdie. Apparently, Oyston's Fish Fry is the place to be on Friday nights. At least that's what I was told by everyone in the Gap. So I made my way there. The traffic was backed up for a while, but I got there, and I'm glad I did. Now, granted, I don't eat fish, and I don't eat most of the stuff that was served there. And there were like tons. There were tons of people there. It was packed with locals as well as travelers. So I just went there to people watch and check out the scene, and I'm glad I did.
Step heavy, walk right.
Before I left, I treated myself to a fancy restaurant, well, fine dining, in the Gap, and it's called the Castaways, and it was one of the few restaurants that actually had vegan options. So I had pizza. I had arugula and caramelized onion pizza. So, what did I eat for most of the trip? That's a good question. So, you know, I had watermelon, I had a gluten-free waffle, I made some pasta one day, but for most of the trip, I actually had doubles or roti. There was a double stand. Doubles is like a Trinidadian street food, like chickpeas and sauce, like chutney and hot sauce or whatever. And then or roti, which is basically the same thing, except the bread is slightly different. And that's basically what I had probably almost every day. Partly because it was easily accessible. Two, it was actually cheap in comparison to what they were charging at the restaurants in the Gap, and at the grocery store. The roti was really cheap, and the doubles were really, really cheap. And also, roti, Trinidadian roti, chickpeas. It's like one of my favorite dishes of all time. So I was actually in heaven, and I actually ate that, you know, almost every day, and it was quite filling and cheap. So why not? So I did make an attempt to live that beach life that my friends are always raving about. So one day I decided to try to spend actually probably the last day, I'd spend the day or a couple of hours, a few hours by the pool. I made it about maybe a good 45 minutes. It got really hot. Like my feet felt like it was burning, and that's why you see that towel. And I also, a couple of days prior to that, I walked to the beach, and I did better at the beach. I think I lasted about 90 minutes, partly because I did get in the water for a little bit. But you know, after that, you know, what else is there to do? So even though I didn't really enjoy my time on the beach or at the pool, especially at the pool, I absolutely loved my time in Barbados. I would definitely go back. Most of my day actually consisted of just waking up, looking out onto the fabulous view that I had, sitting out on my balcony, watching Orange is the New Black, reading a book, and just looking at the ocean again, reading, watching. And so I absolutely had nothing planned, with the exception of that day tour. Um, I had nothing planned, and it was very, very relaxing. It was a much needed vacation. So I get it. I get it now. Even though I'm not physically on the beach, I get like this whole, chill out, relaxation kind of vacation. So I'll definitely be doing it again.